Good morning. Good morning, good morning. It is 10 in the morning on Monday, May 30th, 2022. Welcome to my little space. This is my little corner where we sit and I ramble on almost incoherently about knitting and other crafts. Sometimes crochet, sometimes cross stitch, sometimes a bit of sewing. My name is Leigh. I am a illustrator and crafter here in Pittsburgh, PA. And yeah, anything I talk about today will be linked below. I don't link individual project pages below. That is just a lot of work and unnecessary. So I just have a general link to all of my project pages linked below so you can see any of the projects I mentioned down there. I also have any other relevant links put in as long as I catch them. So acquisitions, things like that. I try to put those below. Wow, you got an actual intro today. How about that? How about that? My hair is wild. You're getting the full 5 head today. Because my hair is on, like, it's almost time for hair wash day, but I'm trying to put it off until closer to vacation. I'm kind of looking forward to it and I'm kind of stressed about it, so I won't go into it too much, but that's neither here nor there. That does lead me real quick to no podcast next week though. I will not be uploading a podcast next week because I will be gone, but I do have a video scheduled to upload next week, a more like vlog style video. I'm also going to film a little bit of a vlog style video about what I'm taking with me. So hopefully I can have that up later this week as a bonus video, also while I'm gone, showing just what I'm planning on, what knitting I'm planning on taking with me on my trip. All right, I don't actually have a lot to show you today. It is a pretty light day. I do have one new cast on. I have no finished objects, and I do have a summer sock camp update because it is here. It's finally here. My favorite holiday, basically. Summer sock camp is here. So I have some new cast-ons for sure. Several. Yeah. I don't even have like real acquisitions to show you. I have one acquisition kind of to show you. So let's just get into it. Let's just get into it. FOs. I don't know why I just said that. I just told you I have none. No FOs. Whips. We'll start with the first whip that you have seen. It's actually the only whip I'm going to show you that you have seen because I haven't worked on any of the other whips at all since I showed them to you last. Ooh, I should probably do better. But the first whip I have to show you is my Ripple Bralette DK. This is a pattern by Jessie May of Jessie Made Designs. And it looks kind of like this, Ripple Bralette DK. It's very ripply and squishy, so there's a lot of stretch. I am knitting mine. I was between 2 sizes, but chose the larger size based on the testers notes. They have like a spreadsheet where they put like their bust measurements and the size they knit and then a note on if it was the correct fit for them or not. No one in the testers was my exact size, so I kind of like had to guess. I suspect this might be a little big, but it's okay because I plan on wearing this as a tank top, not as an actual bralette. I don't expect actual support from it because I did make the framework bralette by Jessie May a while ago, expecting it to be a bralette, and it has nowhere near the structure that I need. I don't understand because it has the most negative ease, and it just, I swear it needs a yarn with super structure. Like merino wool is not going to cut it for me. I almost need to knit it out of like linen. But anyways, I'm knitting this, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th size, the 1X. The garment measures 31.5 inches around the bust, and I am a 42-inch bust. So that gives me 10.5 inches of negative ease. Yeah, I hope it's enough. But anyways, I am using this yarn, which is so much fun. It is Vita Lifestyle. Vita Lifestyle. Cloudy DK is the base, and it is a boucle DK weight yarn, and the color is Lavender Macaron. And I love it. It's looking a little bit blown out here. It's like the light coming from the window is quite blue today. The sky is completely clear. Not a single cloud out there. But yeah, it's this gorgeous like tonal lavender color. And I have knit a little farther on the body. I am getting close to the point where I need to start like actually doing things. I've just been knitting, ribbing in the round for this far, but I'm getting close to where I'm supposed to start doing things for like armpits and cups and stuff. But this is where I am. It's looking super cute. It looks super small on these 16-inch circulars I have it on, but that's okay. It's not actually 16 inches. And it's super squishy, super nice. I do have a progress keeper on here. This is a sprinkle donut, a strawberry sprinkled donut. I can't remember who it's from. I think it might be from Sucre Miniatures. I'm not positive. But that is my first whip. I'm loving it. I need to take it downstairs. The reason I haven't been working on this the past couple of days is obviously socks, but I need to take it downstairs so that it's nearby because it's a really easy one to pick up. And if I work on it steadily, I could be done with it. At first, it's Monday now, I'm leaving Thursday. At first I thought I could maybe finish this before going on vacation. And if I slow down on socks, I might be able to do that. But that's quite a cost. I don't know if I want to give that up. And that's it for whips that you've seen before. Now all the whips I'm going to show you are new cast-ons. I'm going to start with one that I'm really excited about because I'm going to end on socks, because I'm going to do a general sock week. Sock week. It's not sock week yet. That's in July. Summer sock camp update. So the first cast on is in here. I was not planning on casting this on. I was planning on finishing something else before casting this on, but it was the day before summer sock camp started. What would that have been? Friday? I was feeling super anxious and super like antsy to start casting things on because I knew camp was the next day. But I couldn't start socks because then they wouldn't count for camp. So I cast this on instead to ease my cast on heart. This is the Moonset Tea by Ozetta. There's a picture of it. It is a glorious, just basic t-shirt. Making mine slightly oversized. I'm knitting the size XL, which is the 5th size, and it is a 46-inch bust. Like I said, I'm 42 inches, so that gives me 4 inches of positive ease, which isn't a ton. That's like a comfortable amount of ease. The next size down, a large, is 43-inch measurement, and that would have only given me 1 inch of positive ease, and I just didn't feel like enough, so I sized up. And I am knitting this out of, ooh, got a needle in it, Shibui Pebble. Shibui Pebble in the color Ivory, and it is this really luxurious, like really textural yarn. It is 48% recycled silk, 36% fine merino, and 16% cashmere. Quite a luxurious t-shirt. And it is a fingering weight. And I cast on, and I got pretty far actually. I'm this far. This is the back. I think you knit the front and back separately and then join to knit the body in the round, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't actually read ahead in the pattern. But I'm working my way down the back until the armholes are the correct length. You start with some shaping, and oh my gosh, you guys, this yarn, like this fabric is luxurious. It's going to even out a bit in blocking, I think, but it's so soft and so fine and so drapey. I'm obsessed. Obsessed. I'm so pleased. I just want to keep touching my face with it. It's so good. It's so good. So even though I've been really excited about socks and all that, I have still been picking this up because it's just a joy to work on. The combination of this yarn and the fabric it's making and these needles is just glorious. I'm using size 3 Chowgu needles, fixed circulars, which is definitely the right choice for this yarn. I don't think wooden needles would have been nearly as fun of an experience. But yeah, that's where I am on that. I have a gorgeous little progress keeper slash stitch marker here. It's a stitch marker, but I put a light bulb marker on it to make it a progress keeper. And it is a strawberry from Sassafras Knits. Look at my wounded finger. This fingernail was the length of this fingernail until yesterday, and it like broke off, and I also like cut my finger. So sorry if that bothers you if you keep seeing that. But that's that. That's my first new cast on. I'm really loving it. I have not touched my Bessie by Jackie using that tinsel yarn because I'm a little stressed about it. I need to just keep going and see how I feel, but I'm wondering if I might not have picked the wrong pattern for the yarn. But I don't think now is the time or place for me to mull that over. All right, last cast-ons are all socks. I have 2 bags here, but I have 3 projects. First bag is this foxglove bag from Woodsy and Wild. It is a shawl size bag, which is actually perfect for 2 pairs of socks. And I do have 2 pairs of socks in here. I woke up the morning of Saturday, the first day of summer sock camp, and I immediately cast on 3 pairs of socks. I told you in the last episode about the socks I was planning on casting on. Those are the ones I did cast on. But I cast them on first thing that morning. I took the weekend off because it's the weekend and I'm not supposed to work on the weekends. Work-life balance and whatnot. So I had Saturday and Sunday off. We didn't do anything and I knit a lot over the weekend. Obviously, I mean, you saw how much I got done on my Moonset Tea in addition to these socks. I must have done quite a bit of knitting. The first sock I'm going to show you is, I don't know if I can get it out of here. It's the one that happens to be on the bottom. Oh, okay. This is my May self-striping sock. This is yarn from, there we go. This is yarn from Desert Vista Dye Works. It is her Viso sock base, and it is in the color George. It's based off of George Strait. And this is not only the first pair of socks for sock camp for me, it is my May self-striping socks. If you are new here, I am doing a year of self-striping socks, or a year of striped socks, is what I'm kind of calling it. And I am knitting a pair of striped socks every month for the entire year. So far I have been on the ball. I held off on May until the start of camp because camp started May 28th. I didn't want to, I wanted to do other things, so I just waited to cast on this sock. But this is it. This is how far I am. It's knitting up super cute. I have a 2x2 cuff. I'm knitting these for myself, by the way. And a 7x1 rib for the leg. And my vanilla sock recipe is listed below. It's exactly the same as that. I just inserted the 7x1 rib in the leg. I'm also doing a different heel this time. This one I'm doing an afterthought heel. I have just passed where I want the heel to be. I did put waist yarn in. It's this, it might be hard to see, but there's a little green row there. That is my waist yarn. I'm using a little sock stitch marker from Hello Lavender Design. And so I'm into the foot. These are so summery to me. I love them. Country music always equals summer to me. I don't like modern country music, but I am a sucker for classic country. So a George Strait colorway. I grew up on this stuff. It just screams days eating Doritos and cheese sandwiches at the river to me. But yeah, that's the first pair. The second pair I have is, this yarn is the Croft Shetland Tweed DK Weight by West Yorkshire Spinners. The color is Tangwick, color number 1021. Saying the name Tangwick, I must be saying it wrong, but it reminds me of Benedict Cumberbatch when he can't say penguin. That's how I feel when I say Tangwick. But anyways, I'm knitting these on DPNs actually, which is not, it actually is pretty usual for me to knit DK weight socks on DPNs because that's really the only needles. The only needles I really have for DK weight socks are all DPNs. So this is what the color looks like. The yarn, there we go. The yarn, I'm using Knit Pro or Knitter's Pride Carbons. I think Knit Pro is the same brand, just in Europe. But yeah, it looks like a 1970s couch and I love it so much. And I am this far. I am a good ways down the foot. It is knitting up so nice, so squishy and so lovely. I am doing a different vanilla recipe this time. Normally for DK weight socks, I knit on size 2 needles and 52 stitches, I believe, in diameter. And it makes a very dense fabric, which is nice for longevity, but it makes them a little bit tight on my foot. And if I knit on size 2 needles and up it to like 56 stitches, then I'm basically knitting a full-size sock. Like, what's the point? So I decided this time I was going to try using the numbers from Kay's DK weight sock vanilla sock pattern and do 52 stitches on size 3 needles. No, 48 stitches on size 3 needles. And I'm surprised at how large they're coming out. I didn't expect them to be quite this roomy. That one needle size really makes a huge difference because these fit perfectly for me now. Lots of squish. And I love this color. I love how it is knitting up. I think I'm definitely going to pick up another skein of this at some point in a different color, because there are a couple colors of this tweed that I really like. But yeah, that's my second cast on. I have another Hello Lavender Design stitch marker on here. This is one from the Italy collection, collab with Explorer Knits. I use one progress keeper basically to keep track of my stitch counts or my row counts. This one is marking where I ended the heel and where I started the foot so that I can count my rows for my foot so that I can make the other one match. And that's it for that bag. I only have one more whip to show you. Wow. This one is in my, it's a little squished, my Black Pearl Magic bag. This is one of the vinyl bags. It is pink and sparkly. I got it at Maryland Sheep and Wool. It's got this really fun pastel rainbow zipper. Super cute. And in here is the last pair of socks that I cast on for summer sock camp this weekend. And the main yarn was also purchased at Maryland Sheep and Wool when I got this bag, which is why they're together. They also look cute together. They kind of match. But this is a yarn from Neighborhood Fiber Co. It is the Studio Sock Face, which is a 100% organic merino, and the color is Sherwood Gardens. Now let me tell you, I actually went onto their website and looked into this a little bit because I started knitting with this yarn, and it is 100% merino, organic merino, but it feels different than any other yarn I've ever, like sock yarn I've ever knit with, and it smells incredible. Like, it smells so good. But anyways, I went onto their website to look to see if there was any more information about this yarn base, and also to see what other colors they had, because though I'm not shopping right now, I am going to Baltimore in October, and I'm probably gonna hit up Neighborhood Fiber Co. because I think they have a storefront. But this yarn base is not only organic merino, but it is very minimally processed. It is superwash, but it's superwash very minimally. So it is still rustic, and it's so plump. And since there's no nylon in it, it's just, oh my gosh, if I could knit every pair of socks for the rest of my life in this yarn base, I would. I feel strongly about this. I love it so much. I just can't get over the smell. And here's what the color looks like. I guess I could show you up close. Wow, it looks really vibrant on my viewfinder screen. It is really beautiful. So fun. So fun. Oh, but you can see how blue it gets when it comes back here. Oh my gosh. I am using a Progress Keeper from, I don't remember this one either. This might also be Sucre Miniatures, but it is a Strawberry Pop-Tart. And this one, I am doing my normal vanilla pattern, which is written down below in the description box. And I'm using a contrast heel and toe, which kind of matches my Ripple Bralette. But I'm using, where are you? Oh, here. This leftover yarn, it is a Fiber for the People scrap. I had knit 3 pairs of socks with this, using this color previously. It is the 100% superwash Polworth fingering. So there's no nylon in this either. It is also a nice rustic sock yarn. It is superwash, but it is very sturdy and a more rustic type of wool. It's not quite as plump as the merino that I'm using, but it's fine. And the color is Junie, which I don't think she dyes anymore, which is really unfortunate because it is absolutely beautiful. You can kind of see here on the heel, the color is mostly lavender, but it's got like streaks of like a slightly pinkier-ish color. It's definitely tonal, not solid. So very, very lovely. I am enjoying working on these a lot, which is why I'm already halfway through the foot. Like, it wasn't really a surprise for the DK weight one. They go so fast, but for this one, I'm flying through. It's just so much fun to work on. I'm definitely going to be getting more of this yarn, this base, when I go to Baltimore in October. All right, that's it for whips. That's all I got for whips. I have quite a mess here to clean up here in a little bit, but that's fine. That's fine. I do have one acquisition, which is not very exciting at all, but I thought I'd mention it. The only new thing that has come into my life is a second skein of Brooklyn Tweed Peary in the color Admiral. I knit that Lowaro sock, that single Lowaro sock, for a shop sample for the yarn shop, and it has been requested that I knit its partner so that if ever one day we decide to have a sample sale, we could actually sell it. So I will be knitting a second Lowaro sock at some point. I'm in no rush for that. The other one's on display already at the shop, so there's no hurry for this, but I went ahead and brought this home so that I could start it whenever the feeling hit me. is that all for yarny stuff today. Oh my goodness, did you hear that? That was my stomach. Yes, okay, that is all for yarn stuff today. I did want to mention real quick that I do have a package coming probably while I am out of town, because on Saturday at the start of summer sock camp, Kay did her kickoff, and at 4 o'clock when the shop opened at Crazy Sock Lady Co., I hit that shit up and got what I wanted with speedy fingers. I only wanted 2 things because I'm not supposed to be buying stuff. I only got 2 things. I got 1 sock set and I got 1 bag, and I was like, hell yeah. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. I got what I wanted. But yeah, that's all I got for yarny related things. I'm going to update you real quick on life stuff and about my trips and such. So if you're not interested in that, then thanks for joining, I guess. But yeah, I'm going to be leaving on Thursday. I'm flying back to South Carolina, where I will then meet up with my family, and we will drive down to South Georgia, and I will be spending like 6 days, 7 days, something like that, in South Georgia. So I will be taking some knitting, but I have to take knitting that isn't going to be warm to knit on, and I have to take knitting that I won't be able to take this bag. Can you imagine sitting in South Georgia in June with a vinyl bag next to you? I can't. So I will be picking appropriate projects in appropriate bags and trying to have a good time. I will do my best. I will have to be working a bit while I'm there. I was not planning on being gone for 10 days away from home, gearing up for a con that I have at the end of the month. So I will be having to take some work. Oh my gosh. I also really need to work really hard these next few days, because you know how it goes when you go out of town. You plan like to work and get all of these things done. You have all these good intentions, and then you just like don't do any of it. I suspect that might happen. So I'm going to be spending today doing all of my filming prep. I'm going to be spending tomorrow and Wednesday I have a doctor's appointment. And I will be spending tomorrow doing as much drawing as I can do in a day. I will have a drawing marathon. And then Wednesday after my doctor's appointment, hopefully I can edit and schedule all of my videos that I need to schedule for while I'm gone. I guess that's not super interesting. We don't have plans to do anything specific while we're in Georgia. We are going there for an ash ceremony. A loved one passed away a few months ago and was cremated, and we have been waiting until an appropriate time to do a ceremony for him. So it is time for that, and so we will be having like a big, you know, cookout potluck thing that you do for loved ones. But besides that, we don't actually have plans for while we're there. We're just going to be chilling and hanging out with family. So hopefully that'll be nice. Oh, I did film my blanket, my granny square blanket. My planning video for that will be going up while I'm gone. So keep your eyes peeled for that. It'll be up on June 6th, where I planned out the whole layout and did all of my color, like arranging for all of my squares. They're actually sitting here in order from the corner where I'll start all the way to the top opposite corner. So I can join as I go. But I'm not gonna be starting that before I leave. I'll be starting that later. We're in sock mode right now. Sock mode. Nothing personal, I think, is really new. I have some things going on like health-wise that, okay, first of all, I am a chronic oversharer. I apologize if you hate it, but I am and have always been a chronic oversharer. I don't have a lot of boundaries when it comes to my own stuff. So I would feel perfectly comfortable sitting here and telling you about my health like, I don't want to say problems. Like, I guess they are health problems, but they're not like, I'm not like sick, you know? I don't know. I guess I'll just give you a warning here, and if you don't want to listen to it, then I'll pop up here or here on the screen where you can jump to avoid the health talk. Yeah, it's lady health stuff. If you are not a lady or don't have lady parts, or you are just not interested in hearing about other people's lady parts, then feel free to skip this. But I'm going to talk to you about my doctor's appointment on Wednesday. I have PCOS. This for me means that I have a very hard time losing weight. I have had very irregular periods. It always has meant for me that I've had a hard time losing weight. I've had very irregular periods, very aggressive periods sometimes, or no periods at all. I have had really hard time controlling the health of my skin, hormonal acne problems, excessive hair growth in various places, you know, the normal stuff. Every once in a while I can feel cysts in my ovarian areas. But anyways, I've never had like a problem with big dangerous cysts. They're always like little polypy cysts. They're on the inside, so I don't meet them personally, but you get a feel. You spend every minute of every day with your body. You know when something is different, and you know when something feels off, and you know what things feel like when things happen. So yeah, that's how PCOS has always manifested itself for me. I had the experience where when I was diagnosed, I was immediately just put on birth control to treat it. I had been on hormonal birth control since I was 17 or 18. I got on hormonal birth control because my periods were so irregular. I, at one point, went 7 months without having one at all, and I had just gone away to college, and I freaked out about it. It completely freaked me out. So I started birth control then, but I had to try a few. When I was diagnosed with PCOS, I was told that the birth control would continue to just like keep helping with it. I should have known something was up then, because if it hadn't helped yet, why would it help now? Anyways, I can't be on birth control that has estrogen in it because it makes me depressed. Like, dangerously depressed. It's horrible. I cannot be on estrogen birth control. So I'm on a progesterone only birth control, which doesn't do anything to regulate your periods. All it does is add progesterone to your system. It helps to negate the excess levels of androgen that my body creates because I have PCOS. But any periods that I have are mine. It's my body naturally doing its thing. It's not affected by the birth control at all. That's what my doctor told me. Now, not my doctor, a doctor, because I started developing new period symptoms. One of them scared me, and I went to the doctor. The only doctor available was not my doctor, but was a different doctor. She was the one who told me that about my periods. No one had told me that before. Apparently, it's just a fun thing doctors do to just not tell patients about stuff all the time. I mean, you know, being someone who's heavier, it's common for doctors to just chalk everything up to me being overweight anyway. So it's fine. It's fine. I am pretty self-aware, and I am starting to learn to be able to advocate for myself, which is what I will be doing on Wednesday. So anyways, that's just a little bit of background about what's going on Wednesday. What's going on now. I have been developing new symptoms, like new period symptoms, and I have been having a period every single month, and it's been pretty aggressive. And before, whenever I would have a period, it would be very light and very short. My periods post-birth control. Pre-birth control, they were always horrible, really aggressive when I had them. Now I have them every month, and they're pretty heavy, and I'm developing new PMS symptoms, and I hate them, and the hormonal birth control is giving me brain fog. It's always been giving me brain fog, But since I've been developing new PMS symptoms, the brain fog is getting worse, my memory is getting worse. It's horrible. I feel like I'm walking around constantly in a state of pregnancy brain, and I'm just sick of it. I'm done. I'm done with it. So Wednesday, my goal is to, I've already made, because I can't remember anything, I literally have the memory of a goldfish. I have made a long list in my phone of things to talk to my doctor about, and we can talk about other options for me, because I guess I won't get into this too much, but I don't have a lot of options personally for birth control. I appreciate it if you care enough to want to suggest things to me, but I promise you I've thought of everything. I personally don't have many options for birth control, so I will not be taking suggestions for what I should do, like what you have and what you think I should do. I can't take those suggestions anyway. But yeah, so I will be talking to my doctor on Wednesday about all of that, because that is like the biggest thing that's been going on in my life. PCOS is the only thing that I've really had wrong with me. Like I've never been sick. I've never been like a sickly person. I've never, like, knock on wood, I know I'm very lucky that I just don't have to go to the doctor for anything ever. But yeah, I'm sick of this. I honestly feel sometimes that the only reason I'm on hormonal birth control is to not get pregnant, and I just think that there are other options for me to not get pregnant. So anyways, I get to deal with that on Wednesday, and then early Thursday morning I get to fly home to visit my family, so that'll be wonderful. Let's hope that after being on hormonal birth control for 14 years, that going off of it doesn't completely screw me up. Let's hope. Okay, we should be safe now. This should be where I'm done talking about my doctor's appointment on Wednesday. Yep, there's nothing else new and exciting going on in the personal life. I'm just getting ready to go on vacation. I had to write a long list of instructions for Brad so that he doesn't kill my plants while I'm gone. And I'll miss him, and I'll miss my pup. I'll miss them both very much. But now, I guess I'm going to clean up all this mess, this podcast mess, and film another video for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope if you're joining in on summer sock camp, please let me know below how many socks you've started or how many socks you plan to knit over the summer. Just let me know how it's going for you, and I will talk to you in the next video.